we're finishing Magical Turnabout. We have about half of the trial left to do. And yeah, so I think we're gonna start off with Trucy's testimony and then we'll just go from there. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of just get immediately into the case. Oh yeah, video essay of the week. Uzumaki is about a radiation-like sickness. Junji Ito's Uzumaki by Grimmel. I'm gonna be so fucking for real. I have not watched any video essays in a fucking while. I should really get back into watching Wendigoon. But also my brain is just like, I cannot handle watching long ass video essays at the moment. So yeah, we're going like short ones. So yeah. So yeah. Anyways, let's get back into Apolojustice. Let's get back into the Magical Turnabout. So yeah. So yeah, Trucy is our defendant, and we are getting testimony about her switching the sword from the metal one to the rubber one. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, please focus your attention on the sword. Allow me to demonstrate just how sharp my blade this blade truly is. And oh shit, my webcam, man, I'm gonna have to keep this open so when it next dies. It's kind of warm in my room at the moment and I could go and open my window but I can't be bothered. So yeah, see that? No tricks or gimmicks, a very sharp side indeed. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, watch as I take this sword and she switches it. Presto, Sardo, okay. There, I've switched it. And now as you can see, the blade is not steel but rubber. Okay, so she's changed it for the rubber one. I'm disconnecting that. I'm gonna quickly check. There we go. No. Bravo, Miss Wright. Wow, she switched them in a flash. I couldn't see her do it at all. She's completely turned the room around and the hecklers are being drowned out by all the cheering. When did the steel sword vanish off to Miss Wright? In order to deepen our understanding of the case, please tell us if you would. I'm not asking our mere curiosity, just so you know. I usually hide the steel sword backstage when I switch them during the show. So when you thrust the rubber sword into the coffin, the steel sword wasn't even on stage but behind the curtain. Exactly, so you see, there is a trick and a gimmick to it all. And I realised I don't have the volume on my stream on the one turned up, so I can't check if my audio is fine, but it sounds fine. And so for where the steel sword went when I performed it just now, it's a secret. Wouldn't want to spoil the magic for you now, would I? Oh ho ho, that's our Trucy. Yeah, still. Miss Wright? That part where you spun around, that's an actual part of the sword switching trick you do for the show, right? Right, the other parts like the apple were just to help with my explanation here in court. That's funny, I think I found an inconsistency in her testimony. And I feel like Nayuta's found it as well. And it looks like I'm not the only one, yeah, Nayuta's probably found it as well. I don't know what it's doing there, but now that I've found it, I have to get to the bottom of it. Now then, Mr. Justice, you may go ahead and question the witness, but try not to ask dumb questions and spoil this wondrous magic. I thought this was supposed to be my cross-examination. Yeah. And there's so many Discord pings, man. I have to check. Okay, let's save that. And then let's have a look through it. Now, Apollo pointed out her like turning around and like and shit. and shit. So yeah, she Apollo pointed out there that her switching around with her cape. And if we look at the show footage, maybe I think this is where we get to see Trucy actually performing the actual like trick on stage. Mr. Hart, is Mr. Hart the one that switches them? Because he did that little switcheroo. And again, the in-game, the swords look the same, so I can't tell if it's the rubber one or the steel one or not. Okay, Trucy, she didn't do the little spin around thing, which makes me want to
objection.
Miss White, there's something I'd like to confirm with you. What is it, Apollo? There seems to be a discrepancy between the way you performed the trick for us just now and the way it appears in the show footage. And I swear to God, this fucking cameraman. What? But that can't be. I performed it exactly the same way both times. Nuh-uh. Maybe Mr. Hart did it the same way, but the same way you did it just now, but you didn't do it the same way as you did it on stage. And what's going on here? Miss Wright, I have the show footage right here. And the part where you twirl your cape around is missing from it. What? But I did it. So, it really is the exact moment you switch the swords? Yeah, that's right. I knew it. What is said body gonna say? What is Naita gonna say? Well, I certainly never expected the defense to expose the accused lie from it. Mr. Justice, does this mean that you are arguing that the defendant did not swap the swords during the actual magic show? No, Your Honor, that wasn't my intention. I mean, I did swap them. I know I did. I'm absolutely sure of it. Like I'm saying, I'm thinking that it was Mr. Hart that swapped them. Like, obviously, Mr. Hart isn't a conscious being and whatnot. He's a magic trick. But maybe, when he was, kind of being controlled on stage there by one of the twins, I think, either Bonnie or Betty, maybe they had Mr. Hart switch the swords, and obviously when kind of Trucy kind of poofed in, when Trucy went onto the stage where Mr. Hart was, she obviously got the sword off Mr. Hart. So maybe because she knew that it was the rubber sword, maybe she knew it was the rubber sword that she was holding. Maybe she thought that she had switched it, but she hadn't. But it was Mr. Hart that had switched them, not Trucy. Human memories are reliable at best, but in this case, I'm afraid that it is the witness herself who cannot be trusted. We can see the footage for ourselves. The claims of this witness are false. But that's loud. Now that it has been proven that the accused did not swap swords, it means that the use of the steel sword to pierce the coffin was wholly intentional. Ugh. And by the way, was it not you, Mr. Justice, who argued that Mr. Rios' death was not an accident but murder? I assume you have no objections to that still. Oh my god, this fucking webcam, man. It was, after all, your assertion. The defense.
Objection!
The defense has an objection to you, Mr. Apologist. I demand you withdraw the discrepancy you pointed out now. But it was a discrepancy, Athena. But there is a discrepancy, and it must mean something, I'm sure of it. Yeah, would the defense team kindly save that spat until after court is adjourned? Now, after all of this debate, it seems we've come back to the original argument. The defendant knew about the prank plan that would place the victim inside the coffin. What's more, the defendant did not perform the sword switching trick on stage, though her actions, I'm afraid, have come to see the true intentions of the accused, her murderous intentions. It's such a shame, but I did switch the swords, I swear. You're knee deep in it now, Justice. Yeah, like I'm saying, she probably thought she switched the swords, but I'm thinking it was more Mr. Hat that switched them, not her. Excuse me. Let's see. You are which one again? Benny? No, that's not right. Botty? No, Bonnie. It's Bonnie. You mixed up two names together, Your Honor. Oh, pardon me. And do you have something you wish to say, Bonnie? Yeah, Your Honor. I'd like to testify. About what? And this fucking vodka, man. The tiniest little bit of heat, and it just dies. Oh my god. About what? The more I think about it, the less possible it seems. I don't believe Trucy killed Mr. Reeves. Bonnie? Hey, what's the big idea? Oi, such an incredibly gifted and talented magician would never commit murder. I refuse to believe it. Why are you talking about, you hair-brained hair? You keep that your trap shut. This webcam. It just hates me on some days. I turn my phone on it, everything. And it just hates me. I got a bag of baby carrots for you. So chew on those and pipe down. No, I won't be quiet. What's the matter with you? Didn't you hear me? Trucy said something to me once. Huh? She said, no matter how scared you get, no matter how mean people are to you, you can't give in or give up. That's what being a professional magician is all about. Isn't that right, Trucy? That's right, Bonnie. I've always been afraid to stand up to Betty. Afraid to defy her, so I did what she said. But when I saw Trucy today, she gave me strength. She's just gonna try and trick us again with her magic. Hurry up and convict her already. Give her the death penalty. I'm gonna turn down the music. Slightly. I'd like to make a small request. How about instead of testifying with words, I'll show you exactly what happened. Would that be alright, Your Honor? You can witness my stupendous sword-switching magic and judge for yourself. Seeing her courage, the way she kept smiling despite everything, she's just incredible. So I'm not gonna run away. I'm scared, but for once, I'm gonna be brave. What have you done to my sister, Trucy, right? You've practically brainwashed her. It's the power of Trucy's conviction. That's what it is. It's touched Bonnie's heart. And plus, isn't it you, Betty, that basically brainwashed her? This webcam. I probably need a new one that will withstand the actual heat. So yeah. Trucy really is more magical girl. Bonnie, is the topic of your testimony related to that thing that was bothering you? The thing you tried to tell us about in the lobby during recess? Yeah, ever since I saw the show footage, something's been nagging me. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but something is off. I feel like something about it is different from what I saw on stage. What do you mean by that, Bonnie? I wonder if what was shown on TV is really the same as what happened on stage. Like some things were like edited out or some shit. Of course it is. The show has only been performed once after all. It can't be shown anything. It can't be show. My brain. Why did I read that so wrong? It can't show anything other than what happened on that stage yesterday. Objection! The Bonnie's testimony deserves our attention. Let me just start my phone. There we go. There we go. But Bonnie, I just said that. We have to examine the show footage. But what can we check it against? We have some other footage of the show. Well, we don't. I have some show footage. Oh, Bonnie does. You do? One of the TV station's cameramen said he was a fan of mine. He kept his camera on me throughout the entire show, and then afterwards he gave me the footage he shot as a present. He did? To tell you the truth, I thought it was kind of creepy, so I was going to get rid of it.
Hold it!
But did she still have it? Please submit that footage to the court. Now then, let's take a look at this new footage. Okay. Okay, this is from the side. It's like a side view. So from this view, we probably won't be able to easily see Trucy. This is where Trucy will come in. We probably won't be able to easily see her. No, we can't see her from this perspective. I'm gonna have a look at the show footage again. And you could probably just hear my fan in the background. Well, okay then. He really did keep his camera on Bonnie the whole time, didn't it? I think this cameraman needs to keep his personal feelings out of his work. Yeah. Well, defense, do you still believe this new show footage is worth inspecting? Of course I do. Okay, so how are we going to go about this? Let's try comparing the two. We just might find an inconsistency between them. An inconsistency, huh? Yeah, the two pieces of footage are of the same scene, so they should match up. But Bonnie thought there was something off about the original footage. So if we can pick out what's different between the two, we know what Bonnie found strange. And I'm just checking these discard pins real quick. Exactly. Plus, we may figure out why the original doesn't show the sword switching track. Your Honor, the defense would like to compare these two pieces of show footage. Very well, I will allow it. What a waste of time. Shut up, Nayuta. Apollo, do you know how to compare the two pieces of footage? No, I've never done it before. I'll give you a little lesson then. Use the video player's buttons to go through the footage. When you want to speed through, use the fast forward button. And if you want to go back, use the rewind button. If you want to hold the playback, just use the pause button. Oh, by the way, if you fast forward or rewind when the playback is paused, you can do a slow frame by frame playback. Okay, so how do I switch between the two videos? Just use the switch camera button. Now if you find a difference between the two pieces of footage, put the cursor over what's different and present it to the court. Thanks, Athena, you really know your stuff. Not really, I just gave it some gusto, then I went with my gut. I wrote down the most of it. What? I sure hope she gets it right. Anyway, let's give it a try. Let's go. Okay, which footage? Okay, we are on the original video. We just kind of skipped through. Okay, and that's where Trucy comes in. Comes in here. I have no idea what would be different. Okay, that's where Trucy finds Mr. Muse's body. Let's switch the footage. This is footage 2. This is Bonnie's footage. I don't think it's with the first part of the footage. The first part of the footage seems decently the same. Here's Trucy. Wait, I didn't see any. Let's go back. Did you guys see any cards? I don't think I saw any cards. Cards when.
Take that!
I don't think I saw any cards being thrown at Bonnie in the original footage. This is it right here. Take a good look at this scene and compare it to the video shot from the front. Oh, the playing cards don't appear in the video shot from the front? Yeah. Hey, Rai, what's going on here? Miss Rai, what can you tell us about these playing cards? Oh, those? They're the cards I throw when I do the sword switching trick. What? Mr. Justice, does this mean... Yeah, it means that the sword switching trick was cut from the TV show footage. So the footage was edited? Yeah, with malicious intent. That is absurd. Well, we must get to the bottom of this right away. Bailiff, the TV station might still have the unedited footage. Go see what you can find out. And I have so many Discord pins just in this last like 10 minutes. Yeah, sure. What? Who's there? Who the bloody hell is there? Please don't tell me. It's this fucking guy's Rettins. It's you. Now hold up, Yana. This is all just a big misunderstanding. Believe you me. Give a guy a chance to defend himself before you start pointing fingers. And who might you be? Right. Sorry about that. Got ahead of myself there. It was my business card. Charm to make your acquaintance, Yana. Oh, well, how very polite of you. It's lovely to meet you, Prosecutor Sadmadi. Please take my card. A business card? Ah, yeah. I read about this custom among businessmen in this country. I have even familiarized myself with the various supplies. How do you do, good sir? Or what's crocodile looking hole, for example? What? Oh, you're from Take-Two TV, are you, witness? Come to think of it, I believe I've seen you on television before. Yeah, Roger Rettins, otherwise known as the Ratings Raja. He is a TV producer and appears on many of his own shows as of late. He is best known for his catchphrase, hang loose, baby. Oh my, so you're the Ratings Raja. Hang loose, judgy baby, nice courtroom you got here. And I thought I'd get to meet you in person. But Prosecutor Sadmadi, how do you know so much about him? In preparation for this case, I watched all of his shows. I found the Ratings Raja goes to Burger Barn of particular interest. It inspired me to visit that restaurant straight away to learn more about the local cuisine. What, you went to Burger Barn? Who would have thought? You must have really wanted to try it, huh, buddy? Cause that line, whew. This fucking webcam, man. Compared to my aesthetic training, an hour's wait is nothing. I recommend the Southwestern burger with the jalapeno jack cheese, by the way. I'm having a really hard time picturing him in line for burgers. Same. Prosecutor Sadmadi's unexpected enthusiasm for food aside, Mr. Rettins, what is this misunderstanding you mentioned? This webcam. I'm gonna complain about it off stream. Well, for starters, it's true that the footage was edited. You get your hands on this anyway, so I might as well show you the unedited footage. It's a pretty long video, so I'll just show you the part of the playing cards. You can see the cards when Trucy spins around, so keep your eyes peeled. Okay, so here's Bonnie, here's Trucy. And she sends out the playing cards and spins around. Okay, so what we actually thought was a trick. So our earlier, contradiction, our earlier thing, what's it called? Our earlier thing, contradiction, whatever, it's just kind of tossed out the window. Our earlier contradiction where Trucy was like, hey, here's how the trick is done. And she spins around, and then we were like, hey, that's different from the show footage. That's just now cast out the window because the footage was edited. Did you see the part that was cut where Trucy switched the swords? She spins around and the playing cards go flying, everything's like it's supposed to be. Then it seems the defendant really did swap swords during the trick. Which means the sword Miss Wright thrust into the coffin was the rubber one. In other words, Miss Wright couldn't have killed Mr. Reuse. Yeah, see, that's the first misunderstanding right there. What do you mean? Well, Trucy definitely did swap swords, as you saw. So yeah, maybe she didn't kill Mr. Reuse when she stabbed the coffin. But that just means he was killed after he showed up pretending to be a corpse. So you're saying that up until that point everything was going according to the script? If that's true, then when and how exactly do you think he was killed? It was after the dragon set piece came crashing down. Okay. I say Trucy murdered Mr. Reuse when she was hidden from view behind the set piece. She could have easily done it behind that huge dragon and nobody be the wiser. Okay. I see. Indeed, there's a ring of truth to your assertion. You bet! Plus there's a suspicious looking shadow in the footage too. It's towards the end of the footage, just before the dragon hit the stage. It might be easy just to see it for yourselves. Okay, show us then, show us. Okay, so that's when the coffin opens, Trucy finds Mr. Reuse and runs off, and the dragon comes down. It's only for a split second, so it's hard to catch, but look here. Oh, that is a weird shadow. I didn't even notice that. I thought that was just like lighting or like shadows. This suspicious shadow must be Trucy. She's using the steel sword she hid behind the curtain during the trick to kill the victim. But wasn't Betty also backstage as well? Like, it could have also easily been Betty. Like, Betty could have stolen the sword from the sword stand and then killed Reuse after Trucy had run off. Now that you mention it, I suppose it does look that way. And plus, at this point, nobody knew that Bonnie and Betty were two separate people. They thought they were the same person. They thought Betty was pretending to be Bonnie a lot of the time. And Bonnie was on stage and Betty was backstage at this point. So Betty could have easily just gone up on the stage, stabbed them, and then like people would have been none the wiser because they thought, oh, Bonnie's just one person and Bonnie's like fucked off air. So yeah. Now you mention it, I suppose it does look.
Objection!
The witness is just trying to ram his theory down our throats, Shona. And that's not all, aren't we forgetting? That the witness willfully edited the sword switch out of the footage. You see? There's your second misunderstanding right there. Yona, would you mind if I testified about it? I've seen people testify on TV, and I've always wanted to give it a shot. That'd be fine with me. Prosecutor Sadmadi. This is quite unexpected. It threatens to disrupt the comic course of this case. Hey, lighten up, pretty boy. You're gonna like what I've got to say. Promise. Very well. However, if you do anything to impede the last rites from the victim, I will have you removed. Alright, with Prosecutor Sadmadi's permission, please give us your testimony, Mr. Rettins. Roger Rettins, the ratings Roger. Now, Kaiser of the courtroom. I'm taking over the floor, so listen up, loyal viewers. Okay, what's he gonna say? Footage is meant to be edited, I tell ya. Scenes are spliced together and longer boring scenes are cut out. All the stations edit footage this way. It wasn't like it was done maliciously or something. It was just a coincidence that particular scene was cut. It wasn't intentional. Oh, what? You got some proof that I had an ulterior motive for editing that footage? I see. So you're saying it was a coincidence that the sword swapping scene was caught? That's right. Glad you got the
Objection!
Coincidence that's just a little too convenient, if you ask me. Oh, an objection. How cool. It sure packs a lot more punch when you hear it live. Do that again. I want to get another shot from a different angle. My objection is not for your entertainment. And cut. There it is. I got some good stuff there. Mr. Rettins, filming is prohibited inside the courthouse. Oops, my bad, Judge. And if the defense has an issue, it can point it out during its cross-examination. Okay, cross-examination time. I love this little. I've said this before. I love those little animations when it's like the cross-exam, when the cross-examination title comes on the screen, and then like, you know, Apollo or like whoever, Apollo's like the face comes up in this little bar at the top, and then like the prosecutor, in this case, Marty, comes up at the bottom. I really love those like little animations. So yeah, cross-examining Rettins. So let's see. Oh no, which one was it where he said that it wasn't intentional? It was just a coincidence that particular scene was caught.
Hold it!
Yeah, sure it wasn't intentional. Yeah, sure it wasn't intentional. Of all the scenes you could have got, why the sword switching trip? That seems like too much of a coincidence to me. Ah, so now you're gonna tell me how I'm supposed to edit my program as Big Shot? It's like being the boss kid. You're gonna make the tough choices like which content gets cut. Let me ask you this, why exactly did you make such a tough choice in this case? You wouldn't understand, champ. It's all about artistic vision. I tell you, people tell you how to do your job when they don't know the first thing about it. I may not know TV, but I know evidence for that. And by the way, I have some for you, champ. I might not be able to show you that your selective editing was intentional. However, I know you barely defended ill will, and this is evidence that proves it. I'm going to present the clipboard.
Take that!
Close to the, what is it called? The graphite paper or something that like made Trucy sign a contract that was like saying, oh, she's liable for $3 million if the show gets cancelled on her part. When that's not the original contract she read and signed, because it was like original contract on the top that Trucy was reading and knew about, and then the graphite paper. And why do you have to do this? Why do you have to do for during my demonstration? Yeah, so original contract was on top that Trucy read and signed and knew about. Then it was like the graphite paper. I don't know if it's actually called graphite paper. I'm looking at the call record. I'm gonna look at the call record. It's not in it. It's not in it. It's in the contract. No, it doesn't say that. But yeah, I don't know whether it's called graphite paper or not, but it was under the original contract, and then it was the contracts that Rettins really wanted Trucy to sign, with that saying, oh, she's liable for $3 million of compensation. So, yeah. What's that you got there? I don't remember what I was going to say after that, but yeah. This is the contract that Miss Wright signed just before the magic show. This contract between the first party, Take Two TV, and the second party, Miss Wright, reads, if, through the fault of the second party, the show must be cancelled in part or in full, the second party will pay $3 million as compensation to the first party, which is utterly ridiculous. $3 million. That's a completely unreasonable sum. I couldn't agree more, and of course Miss Wright doesn't have that kind of money. Nevertheless, Roger Rettins had signed this unreasonable contract anyways. Or more accurately, he conned her into signing it. Conned her? How did he do that? There's a trick to the clipboard that was used by Miss Wright to sign her contract. It houses carbon paper. Carbon paper! Not graphite paper. I was thinking graphite paper because graphite is made of carbon. It's carbon paper, not graphite paper. Why was I saying graphite paper? That can secretly copy a signature onto other documents. Oh, come on now. That's quite a nasty accusation you're slinging my way. For starters, you don't have any proof I had anything to do with that carbon paper stuff. Just because Trucy and her agency can't pay up, that doesn't mean I'm conda. But $3 million? That's totally out of reach for the average person. In any case, this is important new information. Please add it to your testimony, Mr. Rettins. Yeah, that is definitely unreasonable, especially for the Right Anything Agency, which is like... the Right Anything Agency has 4 people in it. It has Phoenix, Trucy, Athena, and Apollo. 4 people. No way could 4 people come up with $4 million unless they are uber mega rich, right? And these 4 aren't uber mega rich, so yeah. Let's see what's this. Maybe this.
Objection!
Oh yeah, because we did mention because I was saying Wednesday, about how every person's signature is like slightly different when they do it, and that signature, Trucy's signature, and I was saying, oh, it could just be Ace Sunny Logic, but Trucy's signature was like, exactly the same across all 3 documents. So maybe that point that I mentioned on Wednesday was actually true. So I'm gonna rephrase that because I don't know if that makes sense. Basically what I was talking about on Wednesday when we were talking about the signatures, and trying to talk about how Rettins definitely did use the carbon paper. Is that across, now we saw the original contract during the investigation, I believe, on... No, we didn't see the original. Did we see the original document, the original contracts that Trucy read? I think we might have seen it on Monday, and when we did the investigation, but I'm not sure. But basically, I was saying across like the 3 documents are across the note, or at least with the note. No, I think I was comparing the note and the $3 million contract. I was saying how those 2 are the signatures on the contract and on the note. The signature on the contract and on the note are exactly the same. And the thing is, when people do their signatures, they do them slightly differently. Now, I'm not gonna write my signature on the board here. But yeah, like when I do my signature like a lot at work. Because we need to sign receipts and stuff for returns and exchanges, right? So, and like my signature is never the same. It's never like exactly the same on each receipt. Like you can still tell that it's like my signature, but it's like slightly different across each receipt. But with let's look at the contracts. This is the contract right here with Trucy's signature right here, and then let's get the note. Here's the signature on the note. That is exactly the same. Now, let's say I do Trucy's signature. So, let's see. Okay, that's my first time doing Trucy's signature, right? First time, right? Right, that's my first time doing Trucy's signature. But if I do it again, you can see that I wrote it differently. Like I wrote the T's slightly differently. I wrote in, even the Y's and the G's are different. The W is different. It doesn't, like this one has like a little flick at the end, and this one is just like kind of a straight diagonal, but this one is like more curved. But yeah, you can see that like no person's signature is the same across like writing the same things. So if Trucy had signed the note, and the two contracts on separate occasions, then her signature would be slightly different. And on Wednesday, I did say, oh, this could just be asymptotic logic. I don't know if this will mean anything, but it looks like it is. It looks like it is kind of coming up now. It looks like it is kind of coming up now. Let's say, it looks like it's not just asymptotic logic. You know, it looks like it's not just game logic, that her signatures are the same across the contract and the receipt. Not the receipt, the note. So yeah. You must be quite the con man if you can fool a magician with a simple trick. But if you think you can con a lawyer, you're very much mistaken. A kid, would it kill you to enunciate in front of the camera? You know, like a newscaster. Filming not allowed in the courthouse. I'd like you to take a look at Miss Wright's signature here in this note. Now let's compare that signature to the one here in this contract. Well, would you look at that? They're exactly the same. That's right, Your Honor. Not just similar, but exactly the same. Nobody can sign a name in exactly the same way twice, unless it's a copy. Yeah. These signatures are proof positive that you conned Miss Wright. And they're definite. I get your nose. Oh my god. They definitively prove your malicious intent. Say, not bad, lawyer guy. I didn't know you had it in you. I mean, it's kind of obvious when you think about it. They're different signatures. I mean, if you kind of use signatures a lot, like I do, again, like I said, I sign receipts a lot at work. Then you know that no one really signs their signature the same way twice. Like if you don't use signatures a lot, then you probably wouldn't really notice it that often. But if you use signatures a whole fuck ton a lot, then you would know no one. Then it would kind of be made obvious to you, like, hey, my signatures aren't quite the same, even if it's just like subconsciously you know that. You know, this is really getting interesting now. It'll get great ratings for sure. Don't try to dodge the issue, Mr. Rettins. The fact is that you bear ill will against my client. So the show footage was definitely edited with malicious intentions, isn't that right?
Objection!
What a false argument, defense. Are you have really proven is not his ill will towards Miss Wright, but his pecuniary greed. That's right, I just wanted money, baby. Fat stacks of cheddar, that's all. After all, I'd never even crossed paths with Trucy before this magic show. So I'd have absolutely no reason to bear any ill will, right? Maybe? I don't know. You didn't bear her any ill will, huh? Fat chance. This guy definitely had some major hate for Trucy. Oh shit, yeah, because Betty and Rettins were like shitting on Trucy together. Shit, you'll see. I'll dig up the dirt and expose the dark heart behind that sweet smile. I'll prove those grammarian magicians are all a bunch of lowlifes. I can't prove it with anything, but the things he said all point to that fact. There must be something between the two of them that gave birth to this grudge. Some sort of connection that not even Trucy is aware of. Your Honor, I'd like to argue that Roger Rettins and Trucy Wright must have crossed paths before. There must be some sort of hidden connection between them. Hidden? Connection? What is it now? Just, what are you getting at, Mr. Justice? It's futile to even ask, Your Honor. Sure it is, just another one of the defense's feckless claims.
Objection!
No. It's a bluff, it's a major fucking bluff. You don't seem to have a very high opinion of me, but once you hear my argument, you wish you'd taken me a whole lot more seriously. Will I really? Very well then. Do proceed. Did you figure something out, Apollo? Nope, not a thing. Yep, it's a fucking bluff. What? That was just some good old-fashioned bluffing. Courtesy of Mr. Wright's fan training. You can tell Apollo works at the Wright Anything Agency, can't you? I hope you know what you're doing. If you're going to make such a bold claim, Mr. Justice, I hope you are ready to elaborate. What is this hidden connection between the defendant and Roger Rettins? They're dating? No. Okay. They're definitely not dating. Like, I swear, they are not dating. These two? Why is that even an option? He's twice her age. No way, no way. Rettins is a magician too. That sleight of hand trick Mr. Rettins did during the recess earlier. Filming is prohibited inside the courthouse. Do you want me to get the bailiff? Huh? Filming? What are you talking about? I don't even have a camera on me. What if Mr. Rettins is a magician too? What if? I believe it's up to the defense to fill in the blanks, not me. Well, if he is, he may have had some contact with Miss Wright somewhere along the way. Your argument is hardly worth responding to. But by all means, please do continue. As a passage in the sacred scriptures of Quran states, he who gives a sermon to a monkey is himself a monkey. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you say to a dimwit, he isn't gonna get it anyway. But we saw Mr. Rettins perform a magic trick. He made his video camera disappear in the blink of an eye. Well, I think it would be pretty funny if I were a magician. You must have been seeing things. Want me to introduce you to a good eye doctor? If a connection as tenuous as that is all it takes, then every magician in the country could potentially bear ill will towards the accused. I guess you're right. You're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, are you, short stuff? You'll do well to cleanse that putrid mind of yours in the holy waters of Mount Pony Pony. 3 days under a frigid waterfall, and even you should rise to the level of a monkey. A numbskull for a numbskull. With this numbskull has thick skin, so there. I think I get what they're driving at. Even if he is a magician, it's not exactly a reason to bear a grudge against Trucy, is it? Hold on, I can think of one person. One magician who has a reason to bear a grudge against Trucy. That would be Ryus, I think. Or rather, one magician who has a reason to bear a grudge against Gamere. Yeah, Ryus, because he was thrown out. Oh? No way. Is something wrong, Mr. Justice? Your Honor, the defense wishes to submit evidence at this time. I see. And what sort of evidence do you have for us? Evidence that points to the real killer, the one who had a motive to commit this crime. Is he thinking what I think he's thinking? That Ryus killed himself? But he was stabbed in the back. Huh? Unless he was stabbed in like the front, which, and just the sword went all the way through him, causing, you know, 2 stab wounds, in one in the front and one in the back, because the sword went all the way through. But okay, so he definitely wouldn't have been able to stab himself inside the coffin. So, and if he did it before he went into the coffin, then he would have not a lot of time before. He had not a lot of time to climb the ladder. Because like if he like stabbed himself in the underground passage, then he wouldn't have much time to climb the ladder into the coffin. So, but before and after the coffin, before getting in the coffin and after the coffin opened up, would have been the most reasonable times for him to stab himself. Huh. What? And what have you come up with this time, defense? Trucy Wright is the sole heir to Troop Gamera and its name. This puts her square in the crosshairs of one particular magician. This piece of evidence points to that one person with a grudge against Mr. Wright.
Take that!
I think this is it. And who exactly are you naming, Mr. Justice? Ryu's looks so goofy and like out of place on this fucking poster, man. Like he looks so different to how he's like how he's drawn. I can't explain it, but how he's like drawn and shit looks different to how Magnify, Thalassa, Valent, and Zack are drawn. Right. But then the troop ousted him, and Mr. Ryu's vowed to get revenge or something. What do you want to say first? 13 years ago, the great Mr. Ryu's belonged to Troop Gamera. Then he was ousted. And what better way to accomplish that than through the ruination of their sole heir? But Mr. Ryu's is the victim, Mr. Justice. You've named a dead man as your suspect. But is he really dead? What do you mean, is he really dead? If the fact that Mr. Ryu's is the victim is what's throwing you off, then how about we consider this possibility? What if the man who died on that stage yesterday wasn't Mr. Ryu's? Okay. What? You mean the victim was an imposter? Not Mr. Ryu's. Then what about the real Mr. Ryu's? It would mean the real Mr. Ryu's is still alive. That's absurd. Mr. Justice, who is the real Mr. Ryu's, if not the victim in this case? I did 5 minutes, by the way. It's all coming together now. And I finally see the gimmick, the trick to this entire case. This should explain everything, Your Honor. The real killer, the one who hated Troop Gamera and wanted to sully his name. The magician lurking in the shadows who set up a fake Mr. Ryu's in his stead. The real Mr. Ryu's is... I want to say... Well, we don't have anyone else to say, so... Like, logically we don't have anyone else to say. Because, you know, there's not been the plot twist that Bonnie and Betty are two separate people instead of just being one body they found. Emma is the detective. She's not gonna do shit. She's too lazy to do shit, I'm being honest. Then you have Yuta, obviously not him. Obviously not Trucy or Athena or Phoenix. And we can't just say the real Mr. Ryu's is the real Mr. Ryu's. So the only person I can think of is Roger Rettins.
Take that!
But that's... Yes it is. Roger Rettins is the real Mr. Ryu's. Oh, what? Him?
Objection!
Oh, holy red pepper. Your impotent seeds spout naught but meaningless empty words. You can't possibly have proof to support such an outlandish theory. It's not a bad idea for a soap opera, but not even die-hard fans of the genre would stick around past the pilot. You want proof? Well, I've got proof. I can prove it by proving that the Mr. Reuse in yesterday's magic show was a fake. Wait a minute. He doesn't have his fucking scar. He doesn't have his fucking scar on his arm. Look, that's his scar there. But he doesn't have it there. And to do that, I just need you to look at this spot on this poster. His fucking scar. Not the.
Take that!
It's not the words. Here. This is the injury Mr. Ryu sustained while practicing a magic trick 13 years ago. However, the video the victim shot himself shows no trace of that injury. Oh man, you're absolutely right. Now, Mr. Rettins, what do you suppose? Let's find out if we take a look at your forearm, your right forearm. Is there by chance a nasty 13-year-old scar under that sleeve of yours? Well, Mr. Rettins, why don't you roll up your sleeve and let the court have a look? Or are you hiding something else up there? Come on, Rettins. Come on now, I have nothing up my sleeve. Yeah, definitely. I don't need to hide anything up there because I require no tricks or gimmicks. For you see, my magic is the real deal. Here's the real Mr. Reuse then. Is this what you were hoping to see? Yes! Oh, there it is, the scar! Just as I thought. That's right, I am the forgotten magician abandoned to the dark understage of history. The great Mr. Reuse. This is totally absurd. But it's true. How ironic, what did you say? That this old just mark carved into me by Truth Romero would bring me back into the limelight once more. Strange are the comic threads before me. If the witness is the real Mr. Reuse, then who is the victim who perished in the magic show? He was but a fan. I met him once. I met him on one of my programs several years ago. I swear to God, this fucking webcam man. Oh my God. Stretch. This, oh my God. Can I just have like 10 minutes of peace, please? No, it is not. It's not giving me anything. Oh my God. Why is this camera's problem, honestly? Should I probably buy a new one? Yeah, but this one also, like, I guess it's about those, but like it does like decently, so it works decently. So, and I can't justify, my brain can't justify buying another one. So yeah, yeah. And the ad should be ending soon. 2, 1, and welcome back from the ad. He was but a fan. I met him on one of my programs several years ago. He said he had become a magician out of admiration for the great Mr. Reuse. In confidence, I told him my true identity and let him take on my mantle. And when did this man take over for you? About 2 years ago, I taught him my tricks and he even acted as his producer. And so, a mere amateur became a popular magician overnight. courtesy of my magic on the stage we call television. Hope you enjoyed the show. Okay, so they're both technically reuse. You really had us all fooled. Okay, I'm really plugging in my webcam because it is annoying me. Okay, there we go. Hopefully it doesn't keep dying. Mr. Rettins, or should I say Mr. Reuse. In your hatred of Truth Gamera, you killed the victim, Mr. Mystery. And then set up Miss Right to take the fall, didn't you? You did it all just to tarnish the Gamera name. Well, I have no idea what you're talking about, lad. I said it was a prank, that much is true, but it was simply a harmless joke on Trucy, I assure you. Yet she learned of the plan and made use of it to commit murder. That is how strongly the criminal element runs in the blood of these Gameras. Yeah, sure. But if it was a secret prank plan that very few people know about, couldn't you have been the one to use it for murder instead? Yikes. His head? Just kidding. Oh, what the heck was that? Eat my words, lawyer lad. If I fear your grasp on reality is slipping. I do believe I told you that my magic is real. It employs neither tricks nor gimmicks. Enough of the ambiguity. Why don't you make your point already? My alibi is as pristine as ever. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Sagmade? Yeah, I suppose that is correct. The witness does have a solid alibi. Yeah, bullshit. What? Recall, defense, that at the time of the magic show, Mr. Rettins was at Take Two TV. A fact that many people can easily attest to. That's right, I forgot all about that. So, what do you think, Your Honor? Would you like me to testify on the matter? Yeah, I think you'd better. Please tell the court more about your alibi. Very well then, on with the show. Are you watching, Magnified Gamera? The time has finally come for my magic to snuff out your precious pedigree. The Gamera line will be no more. You bitch, I hate this guy. I was at the TV station at the time of the Penrose performance. I was busy working on another program. I could spare no time for the magic show. Do ask my staff if you doubt my claim. And there it is, a simple and perfect alibi. No tricks, no gimmicks, just the truth. This guy, man. Do you understand now, perhaps? I did not grace the theatre with my presence until after the incident. So how could I have committed the murder? His staff did say he was there at the station, so it sure does sound like a rock solid alibi. That can't be right. If Mr. Rettins is the killer, he'd have to have been at the fair. There's gonna be a hole somewhere in his story. I assure you there are no holes on Mr. Reuse's stage. No tricks, no gimmicks. True magic doesn't need trapdoors to escape through. Do enjoy my show to the fullest. And my real alibi. Okay, cross-examination time. Options, save. Let's just. I don't think it's a contradictions now. But you did come to the theatre eventually, isn't that right? Indeed, anxious to see how the show was progressing, I made my way to the theatre. Let's see, my journey took about 10 minutes by car. Could he actually have been at the theatre during those 10 minutes, killing the victim? Allow me a stab at reading your mind. Could I have been at the theatre during those 10 minutes, killing the victim? Ow, in the... Oh no, I took a taxi. The driver can attest to that. Feel free to call the taxi company if my word does not satisfy you. So, he basically made during that magic show, he basically made every opportunity for there to be someone to like support his alibi, like a witness to him being somewhere other than the magic show until after the murder happened. The driver is a big fan of the ratings Raja. I even gave him my card. He gave the driver his card? That was very clever of him, yeah. It's like he gave everyone his card so that everyone knew who he was and would, you know, remember him. You might as well give it up, lad. Questioning real magic is a fool's errand. Besides, you know very well what I was doing at the time of the incident. Okay.
Hold it!
This guy is so suspicious. This guy, I do not trust him. What was this other TV show you were working on? My own special project, you see. One moment. Perhaps this is more appropriate. It's a ratings Raja special production. Yeah, happens, baby. It's called Desperation Regeneration. He switched personas just to say that? What's the show about? Washed up has-been singers and comedians get together and play musical chairs. The winner of the game is given a second chance at their career. A priceless prize for chumps who washed up too early in life. Sounds great, right? Might I suggest you appear on that show, Mr. Justice? I knew one of them was gonna say something like that. As the ex-lawyer who used to make ridiculous bluffs in court and faded sadly into obscurity. And let the ratings Raja produce my TV debut. Not in this lifetime. You have great reactions. Who knows? TV might be your true calling. Hey, you said it, you won. Come on, Tina. In any case, I was overseeing production of this program during the Penrose performance.
Hold it!
How do we know those staff members aren't in cahoots with you? I'm making my business to perform solo. My magic has neither need nor want of assistance. After all, one of them could reveal the secrets behind my magic, could they not? So he doesn't trust anybody, huh? He's the complete opposite of Trucy. There were many people there in the studio audience who saw the witness as well. Even if he had been able to persuade his own staff to cover for him, he could not have convinced so many complete strangers to do the same. He really has made a rock-solid alibi for himself. Yeah, it's almost too good, you know. It's eerie how perfect it is. Has all been revealed to you now? There has to be something. That's a trick or somewhere. I've got it. Do you have a brother? A brother that looks exactly like you, maybe? Again with the twins business. Do you think the audience will let you get away with using the same gimmick twice in a row? If you do not believe him, defense, why not investigate for yourself? Though I am sure your efforts will prove to be thoroughly fruitless. Yeah, I guess the twins theory is a little far-fetched. His alibi really is airtight. I believe we've heard enough. While I believe the witness does indeed harbour some ill will against the defendant, there is no reason to doubt that he was at this TV station at the time of the incident. Yeah, the facts prove it was impossible for the witness to have been involved with this crime. These last rites for the victim have dragged on long enough. The soul of the victim himself is so bored that it is resting on top of the honor's head. It is. The time has come. Let us punish the sinner and guide the victim's soul to the Twilight Realm. Apollo, Trucy will be thrown in prison and will be out of a job. But if you can catch tasty fishies, will you sell me some at a good price? I told you I have absolutely zero intention of going off on a tuna boat. Think, Justice, you have to figure this out. It's no use. I can't find a single flaw, so what now? Ha ha ha, behold, my never-ending magic show. Come for the awe-inspiring showmanship of the great Master Reeves, and stay for my grand illusion until the end of time. Wait, is he saying that we're still trapped inside some sort of illusion of his? That's what professional magicians do. They make their audience see something that isn't really there. In other words, you make us see illusions, right? We call it misdirection. Well, we keep you busy believing one thing, we're busy making something else happen. What we say is there really isn't, and what we say isn't there actually is. Could it be? You know what, Mr. Rettins? I guess we have all been spectators to the elaborate illusion you've prepared for us. An illusion that has subtly turned our attention towards something you wanted us to see. What are you going on about, lad? Have you got something, Apollo? I just remembered something Trucy said about. Yeah, said about misdirection. What a magician says is really there. What a magician says is there really isn't, and what they say isn't there actually is. And if we've all been taken for a ride by Mr. Rettins' magic, then maybe he's made us something that wasn't really there. It's time to rethink all my assumptions about this case. What have we been made to believe was there when it actually wasn't? What have we taken to be the absolute facts of this case? If I reevaluate the validity of all of those things, then maybe, just maybe. Athena, there's something uncanny about this case. Okay, what is it? Rettins' alibi, it's too perfect. That's true, it's like it's impossible to break no matter how hard we try. But maybe that's the trick. Maybe that's exactly what he wants us to think. Yeah, like I said before, it could be, you know, he could have constructed the perfect alibi. I'm not following. We're not making any headway here because we've been so focused on breaking his alibi. Oh, I think I get it. You're saying he's using misdirection in this, right? It's definitely a possibility. You gotta turn your thinking around, just like Mia would say. Would the defense care to share with everyone what is discussing over there? Your Honor, we believe that if we were to reconsider a certain assumption, we may finally arrive at the truth. In fact, I think we'll finally see who's behind the curtain, so to speak. And what is a certain assumption you're thinking of? This is the one key assumption we've been taking for granted the whole time. The culprit was on scene? What if the culprit was someone other than the theatre at the time of the crime? What if there was someone to commit the murder without actually being there? If that were the case, then Mr. Rettins' perfect alibi would become irrelevant.
Objection!
How could one person stab another to death with a sword without physically being there? Furthermore, we all saw what appears to be the culprit's shadow in the
Objection!
But couldn't we just as easily assume that the shadow does not belong to the culprit? Well, if it's not the culprit, then whose is it? I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm on the right track. We've all seen something that looks like this shadowy shape before, Your Honor, during the magic show itself. In that case, please point it out in the show footage for us. This is the thing that looks suspiciously similar to the shadowy figure of that culprit. Okay. Let's kind of skip forward, I guess. That's another shadow. That's another shadow. I thought that was dust, but that's another shadow. Doesn't this shadow resemble the suspicious shadowy figure? Now you mention it, it does, doesn't it? Miss Wright, could you identify the shadow for the court? Let's see, I believe that's Mr. Hat shadow. It's from when he's being pulled away up from the stage to the catwalk overhead by wire. Then could the shadow that's shown there in the footage be Mr. Hat too? No, that's not possible. After Mr. Hat was pulled up to the catwalk, he stayed up there. In other words, this second shadow is from some other figure being pulled up. Some other figure? I'm afraid you'll need to be more specific than that, Mr. Justice. Instead, we've come this far. I'll just have to figure it out from the clues I have on hand. What is this? What is the second shadow shown in the footage?
Take that!
If we consider what was happening on the stage at the time, there is only one answer. The shadow belonged to the fake Mr. Reduce. In other words, Mr. Man of Mystery. The victim? Please take a look at the prank plan script. Mr. Mystery was to pretend to be dead and then fly up into the air after that. Isn't that right, Mr. Rettins? Indeed, and what of it? I contend that's exactly what happened. The victim was wearing a stunt harness around his waist, which I actually saw. Which, you know, I've been like keeping like a slight mental note, like whenever we see the prime photo, like, oh, there's a thing there that for maybe a harness or some shit, but I don't think I've ever mentioned it. It was most likely attached to a stunt wire so that he could be pulled up into the air. So you're suggesting that after pretending to be dead in the coffin, the victim flew up into the air just as the prank script says? Exactly, we just couldn't see him going flying up because the dragon was blocking the way. And that last trick, ladies and gentlemen, is the true piece de resistance of the culprit's murderous magic show. Don't tell me you've got it all figured out. Yeah, I think so. If we could just look beyond Mr. Rettins's last bit of misdirection, we should finally be able to see the real truth. The victim must have been pulled up to the catwalk just like Mr. Hat, and then hit the cushioning up there with considerable force. I just had to figure out what else happened at that time. Are you ready to elaborate, Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready. In that case, please answer me this. Why did the culprit make the victim fly up into the air like that? To murder him? Just why did the culprit have the victim fly up after he appeared in court? And how did the victim actually die when he was only pretending to be dead in the coffin? If we can figure out how these two questions relate, the answers should become clear. Could it be? Mr. Mystery must have thought he was still just part of a prank when he appeared on stage. He probably didn't suspect a thing as he was being pulled into the air after Miss Wright was caught backstage and just as the set piece fell. But the culprit had already planted the real murder weapon in a cushion in the catwalk. It was probably a knife or a blade of some sort. What? You mean? Yeah, it really was a magical murder. Just as the prank script said, Mr. Mystery was whisked up into the air. And straight into a blade there in the catwalk. Oh. Yeah. In other words, this murder was committed remotely through the use of a magic trick. What? Remotely? Using this method, it wouldn't matter where Mr. Rettins was at the time of death. Yeah, it wouldn't matter. But how exactly does it work, Mr. Justice? Okay, 3D diagram time. Just before the murder occurred. Okay, there's Mystery's body. The dragon set piece was up in the catwalk. Yep. It and Mr. Man of Mystery were connected to each other by a wire at the time, so they were connected to the same pulley. By carrying out the prank plan, Betty made the dragon set piece fall, and in that chaos, which caused Mr. Mystery to rocket straight up and into the blade into a cushion, which explains how the stab wound in his back occurred. The cushion was high up enough to be hidden from the audience's view. That's why nobody saw the blade. Oh, In that big gash in Mr. Hat's cape, the blade must have been set up overhead sometime before the magic show. Mr. Hat must have been slashed by it too when he was pulled up to the cushion. What is it, better? I can't believe it. I had no idea. I was told that Trucy would freak out if I made the set piece fall. That's the only reason I did it. You were used, Betty. Roger Rettins used you. I thought he was my little puppet to boss around, but it was the other way around. After the incident occurred, Mr. Rettins arrived at the theatre. He got the murder weapon and swapped the rubber sword with the bloodied steel one. That was also when he lowered the victim's body down to the stage. But how did he have time to do all that? When the set piece fell, the audience was evacuated from the building. He was able to do all those things after the fact because there was no one around to see. A horrific murder camouflaged by a spectacular magic show? That sounds like the kind of murder only a magician could pull off. Exactly. As long as the show proceeded as it was scripted, Mr. Mystery was doomed to die. That's right, it was you, Mr. Rettins, who killed the victim, all the way from the TV station. This prank plan, or should I say, murder plan, proves your murderous intent. Yeah, exactly. Gramere! What is it, Sadmade?
Satorai Maomandomo Samashi de Tashi no Ketare Gaseo Soroka!
Enough. You dim-witted, ignorant, imbecilic, putrid red pepper. You can't possibly have a counter-argument to make. Talk about not knowing when to let it go and move on. Do you have a rebuttal or something, Prosecutor Sadmade? No blood of any kind was found in the catwalk, which means you have no evidence to support your theory, but Mr. Rettins retrieved it after the fact. Which still leaves you with no way to prove your wildly fantastic remote murder theory. But, well proof, does it not make more sense to believe that the murder was committed there on the stage? That's where the bloodstained sword was found after all. That is a very good point. As the only person who could have committed the crime now on that stage, Trucy Wright remains the prime suspect. Yeah, she definitely didn't kill Mystery. It would appear that what you call truth is a little more than a cheap parlor trick. In the end, you have done nothing to prove the accused's innocence. It's time at last to let it go and move on. Oh. Have you seen this, Magnified Gramere? My magic is exacting punishment on your granddaughter. Gramere's name is done for. Apollo, we need to hit them with a decisive piece of evidence here. I know, that's just what I was thinking. Mr. Justice, do you or don't you have anything to prove that the witness committed this remote murder you planned? Proposed, even. Of course I do, Your Honor. This entire incident was carried out exactly according to script. Right, so theoretically, there should be no evidence for us to find or use, which means our best bet is to see if something unscripted happened. There's going to be something Rettins couldn't have foreseen. Once I find it, that's how I'll expose his murderous trick. Get ready, Mr. Rettins, because I'm about to reveal the secret to your magic. There are no tricks or gimmicks here, just some good old-fashioned logic. Okay, we have one of these things. We have one of these. Okay. As long as the magic show went as scripted, the murder would have happened without fail. Everything in this case was carefully planned so that no evidence would be left behind. Still, one thing happened that definitely wasn't in the plan. Well, part of the magic show wasn't a part of the plan. It wasn't a part of the original show script. It was Bonnie's mistake. Bonnie made a mistake. She fought Mr. Hat on the wrong side. Bonnie made a mistake during Trucy's escape trick. What mistake did Bonnie make during the magic trick? Okay, I'm gonna say her life choices because this gives us, I believe, this gives us an achievement, I believe. Yeah, this gives us an achievement. Her life choices. No, I should never say a person's life choices are a mistake. I'm sure she can be a great magician someday if she works hard at it. Good luck, Bunny. Anyway, getting back to the case. What was it that Bunny did during Truce's escape trip? Yeah, that gives us an achievement. What mistake did she make? And that was Mr. Hat's positioning. Mr. Hat was placed in the wrong spot. Because Bunny placed Mr. Hat to the right of the coffin instead to the left, I did it the wrong way around. Trucy had to reappear on the side of the coffin opposite to the one in the show script. But the culprit didn't know that when he first arrived at the fair, which means he was bound to make a slip-up when he tampered with the crime scene. Which one of the culprit's cover-up was affected by Trucy's new position in the coffin hole? His mother was on the wrong side of the coffin too. Thinking Trucy had appeared on the left, the culprit must have put the blood in the left hole. But the blood was eventually discovered in the right hole during the police investigation. If the killer had originally put the blood on the left side, that means he must have tampered with the scene again afterwards to make it line up with the facts. I need to sneeze. To make the crime scene consistent with the facts, the culprit must have swapped the coffin sides, which would make sense with the fingerprints. Because the fingerprints were backwards. The culprit swapped the coffin sides. That's right, the left and right panels of the coffin are interchangeable. The culprit must have switched the two panels to make the bloodstain fit the facts. So, which would have changed the position of the handprints, of the fingerprints, because the fingerprints, we saw them as backwards, but if the coffin sides were switched, that means originally they were facing forwards, like Mystery was originally Mystery was facing forward. So his and I have dust on my microphone. I just noticed that. But yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense because his fingerprints would have originally been facing forward as he was facing forward. But then when the coffin side switched, then presumably his handprints would have flipped around, making it seem like he was facing backwards when he wasn't. But the switch might have also given rise to something unnatural. Oh, I remember now. There was something unnatural about the coffin, and it's just the evidence I need. Which was the fingerprints. Sorry, Mr. Rettins, but I have some very conclusive proof of your guilt. Another bluff, is it? There's no way you have anything of the kind. My magic is no trick. No, there are tricks and gimmicks to it, just like any other illusion. What? After the murder, you switched the left and right panels of the coffin, didn't you? Ah, and because you did, you left behind something very unnatural for us to find. This proves that Roger Rettins tampered with the evidence, with the crime scene after the murder took place. Even the fingerprints. The fingerprinting results. What about the fingerprints is unnatural? Let's take a look at the prints the victim left inside the coffin, shall we? I probably will give a much more, a much better explanation of this than I could. If the victim was facing forward in the coffin, his prints should have looked like this. However, what we found was the prints facing backwards. They were facing the opposite direction. It's quite unnatural for the prints to be facing this way, wouldn't you agree? Ah, it is strange, isn't it? But how did they get this way? They got this way because the culprit thought the magic show had gone according to script. The culprit thought Mr. Hat would be on the left side of the coffin, and that Miss Wright would also pop up to the left of the coffin as per the show's script. He then assumed that she had thrust the sword into the hole on the left side of the coffin. That's why he put blood in the left hole when he was trying to cover up his crime. But sometime after leaving the bloodstain, the culprit must have realized his mistake. He found out that due to Bonnie's mistake, Mr. Hart was to the right of the coffin. And that despite the script, Miss Wright had thrust the sword into the hole on the right, ensured the hole with the blood in it was on the side opposite the one that Trucy used. To make the blood's location fit the facts, he had to tamper with the evidence yet again, so he tried to cover his tracks by switching the coffin's left and right panels. Oh, and that's how the fingerprints in the coffin ended up backwards. Because the culprit switched the two side panels around, the prints ended up facing the opposite direction. But instead of going into all that trouble with the panels, why didn't the culprit just wipe the blood away and redo it on the other side? I'm afraid that wouldn't have worked, Jonah, because of a little something called luminol testing. Alright, luminol. I almost forgot. Luminol can detect trace amounts of blood even if it's been wiped away, right? That's right. Wiping the blood away would have only served as proof of his meddling. How about it, Mr. Rettins? I did a pretty good job figuring out your trick, didn't I?
Objection!
What about it? Trucy Wright could have done the same just as easily if no proof that it was this witness who tampered with evidence. Ah, but I do have proof. What? A person who was in the magic show would never have made the mistake of putting the blood on the wrong side. Least of all Miss Wright, who surely would have remembered that she was on the other side. Oh my, you're absolutely right. Why are you impudent? I'm sure you realize by now, Prosecutor Sadmani, that your claim that Miss Wright is the culprit just doesn't hold up. You and the accused are most certainly... What did he say? Really? Miss Wright and I? I'm most certainly bound for hell. Yeah. Because I think you're the one with a ticket there for trying to convict an innocent girl. Yeah, said Marty. And he broke his what's it called again? His rosary. He broke his rosary. Prosecutor said Marty, are you alright? As for the true culprit, he is someone who knew how the show was supposed to go but didn't actually see it, and someone who had the chance to tamper with the crime scene after the incident. And the only person who fits the bill is you, Roger Rettins. Gramere, all the secrets to your tricks have been revealed. And with no tricks left, I'm afraid your show has been cancelled permanently. And forget the fuck about... Oh, that's a horrible screen cap. I didn't even realize the red camera turned off. Yeah, fucking forget about your $3 million, mate. Don't make me laugh, boy. Mine is the true, real magic. There are no secrets to reveal. Behold, ladies and gentlemen, the true power of the great Mr. Reuse. When it's a magic far greater than true Grimaires, then crumble. Okay, the first one is Tracy, that one is Fallon. That's followed by Serious Flames. That's that. The great Mr. Reuse. And that's magnified. Will bring an end to you all. Okay, so those were the masks of true Grimare. And now for the final heir to the Grimare name, right here, right now, you two shall but huh? No, this isn't right. Ah. No, I didn't do anything wrong. No, it's not my fault. I'm not the one to blame. I'm the victim here. What? This is a full of shit. Breakdown. Curse you, Gomere. curse those Gumares. It's all because of them. Even now they bound me. Curse them all to the abyss. Do you really hate us that much? Does your hatred run that deep? Deep enough to kill an innocent man? You're damn right. You have no idea what humiliations I had to suffer. Your grandfather, Magnified Gumere, kicked me out after I got hurt practicing my magic. He said I was too unskilled, that I would mess up on stage. He threw me out of the tree just because he was worried about his own reputation. Since I was but a child, it was always my dream to become a great magician. But Magnify, he took it all away from me. He took it all from me. But that's no excuse. There's no reason to do something so evil. Magic is supposed to make people happy, not used as a means for murder. What's the big deal? I used to do what I just used what I had available to me, that's all. I get it now. That attitude towards magic is why my grandfather kicked you out. You don't deserve to call yourself a magician. Yeah, exactly what she said. What Trucy said, yeah. Don't deserve. I don't know about that. After all, you were completely taken in by my magic, were you not? If not for that lawyer over there, you would be on your way to prison as we speak. You're right. I didn't see through your tricks. You see? So in the end, Gumere was defeated by the great Mr. Reuse. Oh. You're not fit to lecture me from on high, Trucy, right? You don't even deserve to call yourself a magician, you naive greenhorn. The difference between her and you is that you are a 35-year-old man who cannot deal with the fact that he was kicked out of Gumere and went on a childish fucking rampage and killed a man just because you were pissy at Trucy's grandfather. And thing is though, Trucy wasn't even in Gumere like at all. She's a descendant of Gumere's. She's she's Zach's daughter, but she has never been like part of the original Gumere, right? She's not part of the original, so she had nothing to do with. She had nothing to do with veterans being kicked out of Gumere. She wasn't even alive when Gumere was there. And yeah, she's half your age, she's half his age, and still acts in a more rational manner than this fucking loser. Take that, Gumere, you lose. If anyone needs to learn to let it go and move on, it's this guy. Literally, basically what I was saying. This core of my prison can both burn in the flames of my creation. Bailiff, take Mr. Veterans away. And bring a fire extinguisher just to be safe. This guy is so fucking childish, oh my god. It looks like we've reached the end. I feel as though I've been watching a grand magic show. It was close, but we just barely made it through somehow. Huh? Why does Trucy look so down? Miss Wright? Yeah, Your Honor? I'm about to announce my verdict. Could I see that wonderful smile of yours? That smile of a true entertainer, as I do. Yeah, Your Honor. Now then, this court finds the defendant, Trucy Wright, not guilty! Court is adjourned. we're back in the defendant's lobby. Number 3, to be specific. Where we were just in quarter number 6, but in defendant's lobby number 3, I will not get. Thank you for everything, Colin. Oh, Trucy, grazie a Dio. Now you can open your show tomorrow, just as planned. Yep, and also thanks to you too. Oh, banana Mr. Reuse is gone. I need to find somebody to replace him. It's gonna be Apollo, isn't it? I don't like the way she's looking at me. Trucy, I'm so sorry about everything. Why don't you just bring Betty in? Hey, what are you apologizing for? Roger Betty used us, we're victims too. You even made me an accomplice to murder. But Betty, we have to take some of the blame for this too, you know. Oh wait, Betty will probably be arrested. Even if we didn't know he was planning to kill Mr. Mystery, we did cooperate with him. It's all my fault, isn't it? Neither one of you is to blame. The only one in the wrong is the person who used magic to commit murder, Roger Rettins. Don't you think I know that? Say what you want, but don't think for a second that I don't still hate you. Guess she really does hate me. But Betty, why? You used to be a huge fan of Trucy's. Hey, shut up, I've always hated her. Really? But if we hadn't seen Trucy's magic show, we never would have tried to become professional magicians ourselves, right? Speak for yourself. But Betty, you still have her autograph of her name. Just shut up. Was she acting that way this whole time because she secretly loves Trucy? Wow, Trucy, I never knew that being the best could be so tough. Come on, Bunny, we're leaving. We have to get ready for tomorrow's show. You're really excited about performing with Trucy again, aren't you? That's not true, so zip it, dummy. Damn. Colin? Do you think I really am a naive greenhorn? Huh? No way, she's not. After all, you were completely taken in by my magic, were you not? If not for that lie over there, you would be on your way to prison as we speak. You're right. I didn't see through your tricks. You see? So in the end, Chukamere was defeated by the great Mr. Reuse. Haha. You're not fit to lecture me from on high, Trucy, right? You don't even deserve to call yourself a magician, you naive greenhorn. Trucy, don't tell me you're taking what Retin said to heart. Well, maybe a little. I didn't see through his tricks, and I let myself be taken in by his magic. I can't trust myself anymore. Maybe he was right to call me a greenhorn. You shouldn't take stock in his words. He doesn't even know the first thing about you. Huh? You're a wonderful grammarian magician. You should be proud of yourself. Thank you, Apollo. But what makes you say that? I know you're a wonderful grammarian magician because of this.
Take that!
My grandfather's notebook. The grammarian creed. A true entertainer always keeps a smile on their face. When you performed your magic trick in court today, you showed the world your dedication to your truth's creed. Even through all the journey, you kept a smile on your face and won the crowd over. You are everything Magnified could have hoped for in an heir. You're a great magician, Trucy. A great magician? Me? You really are. That's why. You don't have to worry about what Retin said. Oh, Polly. Thank you. Still, I couldn't have done it without you. I would have lost my nerve if I'd been alone up there. But I was able to keep on smiling because of you. Me? I remember what you said to me in the detention center. After all, you're sure you swapped the stars, right? Yeah, I remember doing it. Then I just know it wasn't your fault, Trucy. But how can you say that? You don't have any proof it wasn't me. I mean, I know you're a great lawyer, Polly, but I believe in you, Trucy. And I believe in your skill as a professional magician. So I'm going to prove your innocence. Don't worry, you're gonna be fine. Your words are what kept me going. Apollo, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now I can be everything I was meant to be. Trucy's real smile is the best. I'm so glad I could make that happen. Emma! Emma? I'm really sorry, Trucy, for everything. But why? Well, I wasn't able to convince Prosecutor Sadmade what a good person you are. I had to testify against you too. You have nothing to apologize for. You were just doing your job. You're too kind. Oh, I don't know about her. Is something wrong, Emma? Oh. Sadmade! Prosecutor Sadmade. What are you doing here? Detective Sky. Yeah? I require your forensic expertise in order to close this case. Come, let us go. Wait, Prosecutor Sadmade. The trial is over, Mr. Justice. You and I are strangers once more, with no further need to interact. Strangers? Have you really forgotten all about me? What? You've really changed, Naita. Telling me to let it go and stuff. What happened to you? Oh, lawyer of impure soul. I have nothing to say to the likes of you. Are you serious, Naita? Now, if you will excuse me. There he goes. What's that all about, Apollo? How do you know Prosecutor Sadmade? Let's just say we're old acquaintances. Acquaintances? It seemed like something more than that. Yeah, well, you don't like to talk about your past here because you always change the subject. I guess I'll have to talk about it someday. But for now, come on, let's forget about the past and celebrate Trucy's future. Sure, if you say so. Hey, it's Mr. Wright. Put him on speakerphone, Apollo. What's up, Mr. Wright? Apollo, how's Trucy? What happened at the trial? Did you get a not guilty verdict? Mr. Wright, slow down. Everything's fine. I got it. I'm okay now. She was found not guilty in a very dramatic turnabout. Plus, we saved the office. It was a great victory for Apollo. That's a lot off my mind. I can't thank you enough, Apollo. Now I know I can trust you to hold down the fort anytime. Me? Really? Yeah, you. You're a real full-fledged lawyer now in my eyes. A full-fledged lawyer? I still can't wrap my mind around it. Thank goodness you were there to take care of everything. And thank you, Apollo. No need to go that far, boss. Especially not in front of everyone. Oh, and by the way, I won't be able to make it to tomorrow's show, so I was hoping you could go. You do that for me, won't you? Of course, I wouldn't miss it for the world. No. Full-fledged. So Daddy asked you to come to tomorrow's show, huh? As my assistant, right? No, he just asked me to go cheer you on. Okay, then I'll be sure to save you the best seat in the house, Polly. The best seat in the house? I really appreciate the thought, but good, then it's settled. What is she gonna do? What is she gonna do? I'm back at Penrose Fair. This stage.
Objection!
I should have known. Yeah. That this is what she meant. Magical Girl Trucy Wright will now perform her greatest illusion yet. There are no tricks or gimmicks here, ladies and gentlemen. This is real magic. Wait a minute, you're kidding, right? That is a trick or gimmick, right? I'm too young to die. Then, Mr. Hat, you know what to do with that sword. No, wait, stop. No! Of course. And that is how Trucy and that is how Trucy and Grammariland ended on a rousing high note. With a big round of applause and Polly's ears splitting screams. What kind of an ending is that? No, I love Trucy, she's great. And that is the end of the magical Turnabout. I really liked that. I really like that case. That was a fun case. And our next case is the write-up Turnabout. I'm gonna have a look actually to see how long the write-up Turnabout is. Because let me see. Okay, the write-up Turnabout is like slightly longer, and it has 2 investigations, 2 trials, and 1 trial that's split into 2 parts. That's what I was thinking of. And it looks like it looks like let's see. It looks like this takes place in crime. So yeah, let's see. I want to see how long. Okay, the investigation doesn't look. The first investigation doesn't look too long, and the first trial looks like to be a decent length. We could probably get the investigation and the first trial maybe done in one stream. And then we've got the second investigation, which yeah isn't too long. The second trial, the first part of the second trial is okay. The second trial looks short as fuck. So yeah, we could probably get that done in like 2 or 3 streams, like we've done with Magical Turnabout. And we've got Turnabout Storyteller, which how long is that? Okay, Turnabout Storyteller looks. The first part of the trial of Turnabout Storyteller, which is the 5th case. No, it's the 4th case even. It's the 4th case. Wait. It's the. Turnabout Storyteller is the 4th case. I was thinking, oh, we've just completed this 3rd case of Spirits of Justice. I was going to say Trials and Tribulations then, but no, it's Spirits of Justice. But no, we've only just completed the 2nd case. I was thinking that, oh, we're halfway through it, halfway through Spirit of Justice already. But no, we're not. We're 2 episodes in. We're 2 cases in. But yeah, so the Turnabout Storyteller, the first part of the trial looks slightly longer, but that's probably because it has a shit ton of, it has quite a lot of mood matrices, and a few cross examinations. The first part of the trial will probably be long as fuck, but the second part of the trial looks short as fuck. So yeah, we can probably get that done. Turnabout Storyteller in 1 or 2 streams, and then Turnabout, which one is the next one? Turnabout Revolution, which is the 5th case. That is long as fuck. So that's so many parts to it, which will probably take us. That'll probably take us all week, maybe. That'll probably take us all week to do. That'll probably take us all week to do. Or like take us like 3 streams to. That'll probably take us all week. That'll probably take us all week to do all that because it looks again it looks long as fuck to do all that. So yeah, that'll probably take us all week. And then we've got Turnabout a Time Traveler, which how long does that look? It has an investigate. It has 2 investigations, and then it looks to be the same length as the Right to Turnabout, the Right or whatever what's the next one? The Right of Turnabout. Yeah, it looks to be a similar length to the Right of Turnabout. So yeah. So we still have that to do. So we have oh yeah, and in 5 minutes, but we might not get to the ad, I don't know. But yeah, we still have quite a few weeks till September 6th. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have 4 more cases to do. So it's like the perfect time. So we have like 4 weeks until September 6th, which is ideally when I want to be done with Apollo Justice, just because September 6th is when the Edgeworth Investigations collection comes out, and I want to play that on launch day because September 6th is a Friday, which means I'll be streaming then. So streaming plans on Sunday, probably an Oswick stream, and then on Monday we're starting the Right of Turnabout, and then when we finish Right of Turnabout, we'll probably see what else I want to stream. So this took us like almost 2 hours of stream. Let's go raid. You know what? We haven't raided Kai in a while. We haven't rated Kai in a while, so let's go raid Kai. So yeah. Slash raid underscore plays. Yeah. He is currently playing Fable 3 at the moment. Hope you go enjoy his stream. Thinking what was I gonna say? All my socials are in the About Me section and in the commands on Twitch, and in the description on YouTube. Yeah, I shall see you guys on Sunday. So yeah, bye bye guys, bye. I'm gonna stop streaming.